Welcome to Power Quiz. Are you ready for the ultimate Spider-Man quiz? How much do you really know about the web slinger who swung through movies, games, and an entire multiverse? Count your correct answers and find out if you're a true fan. Let's go! Round 1. These questions are an easy warm-up for any fan. What is the original Spider-Man's real name? Peter Parker, Eddie Brock, Bruce Wayne? Peter Parker, the hero behind the Spider-Man mask. What gives Peter Parker his spider powers? A magic spell, a spider bite, a science suit. A spider bite. It changed Peter Parker's life forever. Which villain is famous for the Green Goblin suit? Norman Osborn, Adrian Toomes, Quentin Beck. Norman Osborn. He became one of Spider-Man's greatest enemies. Which actor played Spider-Man in the 2000s movie trilogy? Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire. He brought Spider-Man to the big screen in 2002. What is Spider-Man's danger warning ability called? Spider Radar, Spider Vision, Spider Sense. Spider Sense. It helps Peter react before danger even happens. Which Spider-Man uses Venom Blast powers? Miles Morales, Peter Parker, Miguel O'Hara. Miles Morales. His unique abilities make him different from other Spider-Men. What does Spider-Man shoot from his wrists? Energy beams, webs, lasers. Webs. They're definitely Spider-Man's most iconic tool. Which villain has mechanical arms? Rhino, Vulture, Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus. His mechanical arms are instantly recognizable. Which movie introduced actor Tom Holland as Spider-Man? Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man No Way Home, Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War, Tom Holland's first appearance as Spider-Man. What is the name of the 2018 Spider-Man video game set in New York? Marvel's Spider-Man, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Marvel's Spider-Man. What a great game by Insomniac. Round 2. The safety net is gone. Let's see how much you really know. Which Spider-Man wears the Iron Spider suit? Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's one of his most advanced suits. What is Peter Parker's job at the Daily Bugle? Editor, photographer, scientist? Photographer. Peter uses his photography skills to sell Spider-Man pictures. In Spider-Man No Way Home, who helps Peter create cures for the villains? Doctor Strange, Happy Hogan, Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn. Peter works with the villains to try and save them. Which Spider-Man movie features Electro? The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Electro's first appearance on the big screen. What iconic devices does Peter Parker build in The Amazing Spider-Man? Laser pointers, tracking devices, web shooters. Web shooters. Peter uses his scientific brilliance to invent them. Who tells Peter, with great power comes great responsibility, in the 2002 movie? J. Jonah Jameson, Green Goblin, Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben. It's the lesson that defines Spider-Man's entire journey. In Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, what is an ability that makes Miles different? He controls machines, he can turn invisible, he can travel through time. He can turn invisible. Miles brings unique abilities to the Spider-Verse. Which villain attacks Spider-Man with drones in Spider-Man? Far From Home, Vulture, Mysterio, Scorpion. Mysterio. He uses advanced illusions and technology to fool Peter. Which New York neighborhood is Peter's childhood home in the video game Marvel's Spider-Man? Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx. Queens. Peter Parker grew up there before becoming New York's greatest hero. Which Spider-Man villain uses a symbiote? Sandman, Venom, Vulture. Venom. The symbiote creates one of Spider-Man's most dangerous enemies. Round 3. The questions are getting tough now. Good luck! What does Peter lose after the ferry accident in Spider-Man Homecoming? His phone, his backpack, his Spider-Man suit. His Spider-Man suit. Peter learns that being Spider-Man is about more than just the suit. Why does Spider-Man temporarily lose his web powers in Spider-Man 2? Because of a technological glitch, because of an emotional block, because of a chemical poison. Because of an emotional block, it's the reason why his powers fade away. What is the name of the iconic main suit designed for the video game Marvel's Spider-Man? Advanced Suit, Iron Spider Suit, Velocity Suit. Advanced Suit. It became one of Insomniac's most iconic designs. In Spider-Man No Way Home, what causes the multiverse villains to appear? A symbiote attack, a failed Stark invention, a failed Doctor Strange spell. A failed Doctor Strange spell. It changes Peter Parker's entire world. Who becomes Venom in Spider-Man 3? Cletus Cassidy, Flash Thompson, Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock. His jealousy turned him into one of Spider-Man's darkest rivals. Enjoying this quiz so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. What ability does Spider-Man 2099 have that makes him different? Claws and paralyzing fangs, magic spells and illusions, telepathy and mind control. Claws and paralyzing fangs. A very different style of Spider-Man. Where does Peter plan to confess his feelings to MJ in Spider-Man: Far From Home? Berlin, Paris, Venice. Paris. Peter's perfect romantic plan was completely ruined by supervillain Chaos. In Spider-Man 3, what kind of scientific facility causes Flint Marko's transformation into Sandman? A radioactive gene lab, a chemical waste plant, a particle accelerator. A particle accelerator! It fused Flint Marko's DNA with surrounding sand. In Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse, what tragic event does Miles try to prevent? The death of his father, the destruction of Brooklyn, the collapse of the multiverse. The death of his father. Miles refuses to accept it, even if it breaks the multiverse rules. Which villain hunts Spider-Man and other heroes in the video game Marvel's Spider-Man 2? Mysterio, Kingpin, Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter. He turns New York into his ultimate hunting ground. Round 4. We're high above the skyscrapers now. Don't look down. How does the alien symbiote arrive on Earth in Spider-Man 3? On a crashing meteorite, inside an Oscorp space probe, attached to an astronaut's suit. On a crashing meteorite. That's how the symbiote hitched a ride to Earth. What disease is Otto Octavius trying to cure in the video game Marvel's Spider-Man? A brain disease, a neurological disorder, a genetic mutation. A neurological disorder. Otto's personal struggle plays a huge role in his transformation. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, what does a dying Harry Osborn desperately beg Peter Parker for? A sample of Spider-Man's blood, a dose of Oscorp's serum, a piece of Stark's technology. A sample of Spider-Man's blood, but Peter refused because the cure could have been deadly. What does Dr. Octopus need for his fusion experiment in Spider-Man 2? Vibranium, tritium, adamantium. Tritium. Otto believed he could hold the power of the sun in the palm of his hand. In Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse, how does Miles get the iconic black color for his suit? He spray paints an old Peter Parker suit. He uses a specialized high-tech dye. He mixes alien symbiote liquid. He spray paints an old Peter Parker suit. That's how Miles creates his own unique style. What iconic Avengers weapon is being added to the Statue of Liberty in Spider-Man: No Way Home? Iron Man's arc reactor, Thor's hammer Mjolnir, Captain America's shield. Captain America's shield. The final battle takes place on top of it. Which ally coordinates the police raid with Spider-Man during the opening mission of the video game Marvel's Spider-Man? Captain Yuri Watanabe, Officer Jefferson Davis, Detective Rio Morales. Captain Yuri Watanabe. She was Spider-Man's main contact inside the police department. In Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse, what was the Spot's job before the Collider explosion transformed him? A Daily Bugle reporter, an Alchemax scientist, an Oscorp geneticist, an Alchemax scientist. That was his job before he became a villain. In Spider-Man: Homecoming, which monument serves as the backdrop for a tribute to the iconic upside-down kiss? The Washington Monument, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. The Washington Monument. It's where Peter's suit AI jokingly tells him to kiss Liz. In Spider-Man 2, who does Aunt May mention in her iconic speech about why the world needs heroes? A little boy named Flash, a little boy named Henry, a little boy named Miles. A little boy named Henry. Aunt May's legendary speech about heroes inspired Peter to return. The final round. Prove that you are the ultimate Spider-Man expert. Which real-life family member of Tom Holland plays the thief in a deleted scene of Spider-Man: No Way Home? His father, his brother, his cousin. His brother. Tom's younger brother, Harry Holland, played the thief in this deleted scene. Which iconic villain do players unexpectedly get to control for a mission in the video game Marvel's Spider-Man 2? Lizard, Mysterio, Venom? Venom. Players briefly took control of him during his brutal escape from Oscorp. Which famous singer performs as herself during the World Unity Festival in the 2002 movie? Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill, Macy Gray. Macy Gray. She performed at the festival right before the Green Goblin attacked. What is the name of Miguel O'Hara's holographic AI assistant in Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse? Lana, Lila, Maya. Lila. She tracks multiversal anomalies for Miguel, often with a lot of sarcasm. In Spider-Man: Homecoming, how many pieces does Ned say his Lego Death Star has? 3,449 pieces, 3,803 pieces, 4,016 pieces, 3,803 pieces, but the movie actually showed the newer 4,016-piece set, a classic movie goof. In Spider-Man: Far From Home, what is Quentin Beck disguised as when he secretly stalks Peter in Venice? A hotel waiter, a local gondolier, a normal tourist. A normal tourist. He can be seen hiding in plain sight, watching Peter's every move. Which Marvel creature replaces the famous Wall Street Bull statue in the video game Marvel's Spider-Man? Lockjaw, Throg, Zabu. Lockjaw. Insomniac replaced the Wall Street Bull with the Inhumans' teleporting dog. In Spider-Man: No Way Home, which Spider-Man actor designates himself as Peter 2 during the final battle? Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire. He officially named himself Peter 2 in the movie. In Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse, what specific number is written on the back of the radioactive spider that bites Miles Morales? 19, 42, 616. 42. The spider carried this number, foreshadowing that it originally came from Earth 42. In Spider-Man Homecoming, which Marvel character's portrait is hidden on the wall among famous real-world scientists, Bruce Banner, Howard Stark, Hank Pym, Bruce Banner, the portrait can be seen hanging in the classroom as a tribute to his brilliant mind. You made it to the end! Great job! Tell us your score in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this quiz, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Power Quiz videos. I'm sure you will love our next quiz. So what are you waiting for? Click on it and have fun. Thanks for watching.